Yeah.
I'm totally on my camera. Yeah.
Hello everyone, this is the Hub Plus podcast. My name is Plus,
My name's Otis.
My name is Hannah.
and in the episode today, we're gonna discuss about mental health issues among teenagers in Taiwan, and our topic of discussion will cover students' academic and social life. So we know that making friends is an important part of high school life. So Otis, I'd like to start by asking you the question: how has your background as an American Taiwanese influenced the friend group that you associate yourself with, and as a student in an international high school in Taiwan?
Yeah, so in terms of like friends and friend groups that I've made when I was in the US and Taiwan, the transition itself hasn't been easy because there's still a big cultural difference. Whether international school or not, I knew it was going to be a big difference, but there are still like the same common like interests. Like I still like playing basketball, so I tend to make friends out like playing sports or like playing basketball, or I also tend to make friends that are more social than me, and that habit is still sticking on to me even now in high school. Because in the US, I was a bit more quiet than I am now, because I became a bit more social throughout high school so far. And I think that my past, or when I was in the US, it does still influence like the friends I make, but me myself, I've also changed as an individual. So obviously me changing as an individual also means that my friend groups will change.
Yeah, I think that's a thoughtful answer. You mentioned that you tend to associate yourself with more extroverted people who are more social than you. How your friend group changed along with your change as an individual. And I would like you to touch more upon on that. Tell me a bit more about why you tend to associate yourself with people more extroverted.
Yeah, for me, even though I said before that I'm a bit more social now, I'm still not exactly someone who can lead a conversation. So I like to find people who will engage or talk first. Like I'm typically the one to listen more than speak. I like to listen what other people want to talk about rather than speak. Like maybe in front of you it seems like I want to speak more, but in terms of like when I'm speaking to a more extroverted person, when they speak first, I like to listen more than I like to speak.
Yeah, and so you tend to respond when someone initiates the conversation.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't call yourself the one who reaches out.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like I'm an initiator.
Sure. Yeah. So now we've kind of talked about your way of interaction with your friends, and let me ask you something. Given that you are compared to like people we know as extroverted, you would say that you're less social. How does that affect your approach to making friends? You know, how do you make friends with people who are extroverted? And maybe talk a bit more about, given your background, what ways you use to make friends?
Yeah, a lot of it just came from moving to Taiwan, because one just big difference I realized, like culturally, was that in the US people tend to be much more extroverted and open to conversations than here in Taiwan. I feel like in Taiwan, especially in our school, a lot of people are just more, they keep to themselves more, and it's actually harder to find people who are like super naturally extroverted. The fact that I went from someone who was more on the quieter side to being just kind of in the middle, I think making friends here, it was more so just being able to open up. And really, I think a lot of it is from like awkwardness. Like if you're awkward when talking to others, like both of you will think it's awkward, and it just kind of messes up the feeling or the vibe. But if you just talk naturally, or just, how do I say it, like
I think I somewhat get what you're saying, and I do relate to it. You said being genuine and being natural is how you approach your approach of making friends. And like you, there are many awkward moments when we try to initiate a conversation.
Yeah,
And
I feel like getting
even when it's someone who's your friend, you know.
I feel like getting rid of that awkward aspect is really important in a conversation. Just like a free-flowing conversation without thinking, without really, in a way like without really thinking about what you're saying. Like you might think like, oh, if I say this, will the conversation be awkward? Because the more you think about that, the more awkward it will be.
Yeah, actually, the way I personally approach, you know, making friends is really by showing them who I truly am, by just being my real self and letting them know what I genuinely feel and what I genuinely have to say.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I make friends, basically.
Yeah.
Now we've talked about how we make friends and the friend groups that we associate ourselves with. I want to ask you, how have your friends influenced you as a person? That you changed, or like in terms of your personalities, or your habits, or your perspectives of looking at things? How have your friends influenced you in those respects?
That's a good question.
Because as I mentioned earlier, friends are really important, not just in high school, but throughout our life, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times I just reflect on how people in my life have, you know, affected the way I look at things. So I would like to take the opportunity to ask you that.
Yeah, so in middle school, I had some friends who were like very smart and very academic, and at that time I wasn't. So it's like a contrast, right? It's like I was friends with them, but whenever they were talking about academics, I felt a bit out of place in the conversation because I wasn't the best academic. I wasn't a great academic student, and they were, right? So at some point, like I started to change a little bit. It was like a slow change, but I started talking to my friends more about academics, caring more about academics, and just overall being a lot more engaged in those types of conversations. And I don't think that's the main reason why I was able to kind of transition towards being a better academic student, but just having these conversations with my conversations with my friends. Like, I wouldn't be afraid to tell them that I did bad on a test. Like, what can I do to improve my score? And I would ask them for help, right? And it taught me more than just like responsibility, but also taught me like maturity, being able to. Because I was 8th grade at the time, right? Like, high school's coming up, like, you really need to focus on your academics a lot more, and that's kind of like a valuable lesson they taught me.
Yeah, I think that's also one of the importance of having friends, right? With whom you can be yourself and talk about things that you tend to avoid, and to let them have impact on you in a natural way, because you wouldn't say that was the main reason you suddenly became a more academic focused student, but
Yeah.
would you still say that's one factor, you know, having friends, like-minded friends who are successful academic students but still so well-rounded and still so social, right?
I think having
factor.
these types of friends that are willing and able to support you, even if, you know, you're not the best student or you might not be willing to learn as much, but the fact that they were just willing to help me, like taking time out of their day to spend time with me and help me with my homework or help me study, that really changed my mentality on even friends in general. Because during some of those times, I just thought of friends as just hanging out with them or like having fun with them, but throughout the 8th grade year, I just realized that friends are more than just people to hang out with. Like, they can really mean a lot more to you than just entertainment.
Deeper connection.
Yeah, there were a couple of friends that I made during that year that I felt like I really had a deep connection to them. Where I didn't just talk to them about basketball or other irrelevant things. Like, I could talk to them about academics. I could open up about my grades to them, because I didn't even open up to my grades about my parents most of the time. Like, I waited for them to find out, and then I would get scolded. But I actually was more willing to tell my friends about my grades than I was.
I think a lot of people can relate to that experience.
Yeah.
So speaking of academics, Yeah, I know it's a big thing in schools, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And especially, we both can say that in Taiwan, parents tend to regard academics highly.
Yeah.
Right. So as a student yourself, having mentioned your peers, your friends' influence on your way of looking at academics. So do you now, as a high school student, think academics are important? And yeah, tell me why.
Yes, I think academics are important. Yeah, and I've been talking about it pretty much like this whole episode, but I also want to like emphasize the importance of not overworking yourself.
Yeah.
'Cause
why is that?
I've had moments where I felt like I've been pushing myself a bit too hard. Like obviously I want to become a better academic student, but there's also limits. Like you can't, like just because you say you want to do this doesn't mean you can do it. Like just because I say I want to get all A's doesn't mean I'm gonna get all A's. Like I feel like if you push yourself too hard, you'll become more like mentally stressed, whether that's anxiety, that's stress, and you're gonna worry about a lot more things than just academics. It makes you just a lot more cautious about things in general. Like you become a lot more nervous and a lot more stressed at times you really shouldn't be. Like there's times where I don't have homework and I'm still stressed for no reason, right? And
So would you say that you are the type of student who overworks, who overstresses over academic related?
I wouldn't say that I overwork
stuff.
myself, but there's like periods or spans of time where I feel like I work a bit too hard.
Sure.
And being able to find that balance between academics and just free time, I feel like is really important. Like I think I've talked about this a lot, but finding that balance isn't easy because it's hard to be a good academic student and also be not stressed. Like just like have a lot of free time. It's not easy. And throughout high school, I feel like I've been trying to navigate myself to find my balance or my answer to that balance, but still trying to find the answer. And whether I can or I can't, that the process of finding it for me has also been really important. Like finding that balance.
I would like to respond to the part where you share about finding the balance. But before we get to that, let's talk about academic pressure. Like some students tend to overwork themselves, even when they already achieving a decently high score, or when they are free, they still feel somehow overwhelmed and anxious that they are being unprepared, not doing enough. What's going on with academic pressure? You know, let me put it. How should I put it? Because like myself, I also am academic person. I would call myself one because, like you, I value academics, and I actually am passionate about academics. Not all subjects, but some. But I also feel that there are moments when I feel overwhelmed and when I just get stressed about my academics. Let's talk. So academic pressure. So you also have those moments where you feel overwhelmed.
For sure.
So how do you deal with it?
To be honest, I can't give you a straightforward answer.
Because I know you also mentioned that you're still figuring out. Right.
I mean, I can give you one answer. It's time management. Being able to manage your time and use your time effectively and productively. Like, let's say if you finish school at 3 o'clock and you get home at 4 o'clock, how are you going to spend the next 3 to 4 hours? Are you going to spend it on this subject? Are you going to spend it on this subject? You have to be able to prioritize which homework or which projects are the most important and which ones you should work on most. Because if you end up working on homework that's not as important and you leave the busiest or the hardest ones for last, it could end up messing up your schedule, right? You might end up sleeping 2 hours later, which will affect you the next day because you'll be tired during school. And it's more of like a rinse and repeat, because if that happens more than once, you're tired this day and then you're tired the next day, and then it kind of just keeps repeating.
Embarrassingly, I would say I've been in the
I feel like a lot of people in high school experience with this. It's not rare. It's very common. My parents talk to me about time management all the time, and they tell me I have to manage my time better, and I actually do agree with them because I actually manage my time pretty poorly. But it's not easy to like make a schedule for yourself, to be honest.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that personal and also helpful
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
a way of dealing with stress, time management. Yeah, so part of time management, also includes finding a balance, right?
Mhm.
Finding a balance between your academics and otherwise, your extracurricular activities,
Yeah.
your social life, and the such. And you also mentioned that, yeah, as someone who begins to value academics and sometimes even overvalue it, you found out the value of a balance as well. So tell me about how you exactly put into practice the balance between academics and other things that you do in high school, and how that in reality helps you with dealing with academic pressure.
But other things, do you mean like extracurriculars or like just hanging out with friends? Is there like
I think it can be both, right? Just part of time management is also finding balance, because sometimes we need to recharge, right?
Yeah.
And a good way of recharging is, having a balance between the work and the rest. And for a lot of high school students, they prioritize, gaming or
Yeah.
playing sports or hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's the healthy balance that can help you deal with academic pressure? More simply, what are your ways of dealing with pressure? I think I've asked that, but I mean, like, in a more balanced way. Like, yeah, you hang out with friends, right? You play sports. Tell me about those things.
Yeah, I feel like if you emphasize your free time as a reward, like let's say when there's 7 days during a week, let's say Monday through Friday, you're mostly working hard, like academic wise, you might have clubs or whatever, like you just put in like 80% of your effort, 90% of your effort, like a lot of time into Monday through Friday, and you look forward to Saturday and Sunday, because those are the days where you can really relax and not have to worry as much about academics, right? Like on Sunday, I have basketball games, right?
Yeah.
I might think of that as a reward for working hard during the week. Like I won't have to worry about my academics on Sunday. I can just enjoy playing basketball. Or on Saturday, I can go out with friends or go out with family and not have to worry about the stress of academics. But if you tend to not work as hard on the weekdays and you leave the work for the weekends, which you might have homework on the weekends anyways, but if you do most of your work on the weekdays and you leave less work on Saturdays and Sundays, you'll really be able to enjoy, like make the most out of your weekends.
Definitely treating your rest, your personal social activities as a reward for your hard work. Yeah, that could be helpful. Yeah, so now, having spoken about our social and academic life in high school, let's wrap up the discussion by relating it to our audience. So, Otis, let me ask you the question. What's one thing you would like our audience to take away or to reflect on after listening to our podcast? Like ourselves, they are also high school students or teenagers or people with some mental health problems going through these academic and social lives.
Yeah.
And what's something that they can do to make changes, or what's something you want to reiterate?
So, a message I would give, or like a takeaway from this episode, would be one message or takeaway that I have from this podcast is don't let who you are as an individual in high school shape you. So what I mean by that is everyone has their goals, their dreams, their aspirations. And a lot of people think that what college you go to will determine that. And I just want to say that I don't think high school determines who you are as a person. Like just because you get a bad grade, or just because like you're not exactly the best academic person in the world, like that doesn't, it matters, but it's like it doesn't at the same time. Everyone has their own path to like success. Like some people, they end up going to a really good college, some people they might not. Like everyone has their own path, and if you fail, just try again. Like you hear many people on the internet saying that you should be realistic with their dreams or be realistic with their goals, which I do agree with, but my main message is just again, just don't let high school define who you are as an individual, who you are as a person, and don't let anyone else take away your goals just because they tell you you can't. Whenever someone tells me I can't do something, I'll use that as fuel for motivation, and I'll use that to try to get better. And that's my main message.
For me, I would say my takeaway for the audience would be to stay true to yourself. What I mean by that is when making friends, when reaching out to people, show them who you truly are. Be genuine to them. Show them the side of you that you are afraid that they might dislike, they might not understand. But I really encourage not just our audience, but also myself and our other hosts to be genuine when making friends. And in terms of academics, even when you get stressed over like subjects that you hate, or that you failed certain tests and you are not doing well academically, let's not forget what your passions really are, and hold on to those passions as you walk through those hard times. I'm not suggesting that we should give up on those subjects that we don't like or that we're not good at. One should always challenge oneself, but in those moments of doubt, those moments of hard times, let's hold on to what we're passionate about, and acknowledge what reward those hard times bring to. That would be my takeaway. So I think it's a very applicable one to your social life, to your academics. Yes, so stay true to yourself. Thank you for listening to our podcast today, and I hope you have a good time reflecting on what we've talked about. And see you next time. This is the Hub Plus. I'm Plus.
I'm Otis.
And I'm Hannah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.